Unfortunately, this got destroyed. That's my original coating.
Oh! And you said you got the wool insulation in Reno?
From Havelock Wool.
Okay. It was how much a bag?
Like $120 a bag. And it took 2 bags to do this van, and I had quite a bit left over actually. But they'll recommend 2 for these vans and 3 for the bigger ProMaster. Just depends on how thick you put it. I put it almost 2 inches thick on the walls, but I could only get 1 inch on the ceiling. I just couldn't hold it up. It's impossible.
Yeah, because wool gets heavy.
Yeah, if I was going to do the ceiling again, I'd probably put in the panels because it was so much easier to mount them. And I could go 2 inches then, but never needed it because everything stays pretty warm.
Yeah, wool was smart though. No bugs, no condensation.
Yeah.
We gotta take this guy out, right?
Yep, the Chinese diesel heater. I installed it in November 2019. And it worked great all the way up until April, and I was just running it because you're supposed to run it once a month. So it was kind of warm, but I didn't need it. But I have to run it once a month, so I just fired it up to run it. Just to let it run and get a good burn on, and then all of a sudden the wires started flicking, the lights flickered, and it just stopped running. Now it won't come back on. It just makes that noise.
And you check the fuse.
Yep, check the fuse up the fuse container, traced the power down here, undid the power wires, and they're running just like they're supposed to, 12.7 volts. And I don't know what broke on this thing.
It's okay.
Because even there's a website dedicated to these, a Facebook page, and nobody could answer the question there either. So it was, I guess we'll replace it. Hooking up the fuel line, I have the tank on the back door, the pump thing back there, so it pushes the fuel forward. This is the part where it attaches to the tank. So it's just a little rubber tube with they send you all this in the kit. Just trim it off, put this on there because we're going to install it to the bottom of the heater right here. Clamp it on so there's no leaking, and everything should have a good fuel line connection for fuel flow into the pump. Now when we first got this, we tried to install it so it was just flush with the floor with the tubes, the exhaust tubes going right out through the van, but one, you couldn't really tighten these down very good because it wasn't quite long enough to go all the way through the floor of the van, and 2, this fuel tube was sticking out too far. So build some risers to rise it up so you could get the fuel tube to not rest flat on the floor and cause a problem. Just 2 holes. They got a little template. You can use this little plate thing as your template. Because you drilled through the metal, you come back and put paint on there so it doesn't rust. The metal doesn't rust.
Oh.
So you're basically just putting a coating of paint in there to make sure no rust.
What does this pipe go towards?
That's the exhaust.
Exhaust, and this one
This is your intake.
is your intake.
Is that why it's got the filtery thing on it?
Uh-huh. And it faces forward.
Yeah.
The final step of wiring power to together. Positive to positive, negative to negative.
You're just twisting them together and then putting a cap on it?
Yeah, the cap actually twists the wires together. This is my favorite way to do wire. It always works. We do irrigation wire on a golf course like this too. And then put it inside a waterproof container. It's pretty fancy. Now I just pulled the fuse out of the circuit breaker,
Okay.
so I didn't have any power running to those wires.
And you just put the fuse back in?
Now I'm going to put the fuse back in, and I should have power. Where is the fuse though? There it is. Because you never want to work with live power going. That's how you get shocked.
We got action.
We got lights. I gotta redo this.
And that's the hose that distributes the heat.
Sends the heat out. Yeah, I had to try to carve a thing through there.
Oh, to fit it?
Yeah. And then there's a vent looking thing. Somewhere. Oh, there it is. That that slides into, and then it's supposed to screw down with that thing. Good luck with that.
How fast would you say it heats up your van?
Oh, under 10 minutes.
Under 10 minutes? From like what degree to what degree?
I would say if it was like 55 degrees in the van, and this is set at 72, push the button and within 10 minutes your van's at 72 degrees.
Okay. And how long did you say a tank of diesel lasts?
About a half gallon for every 12 hours of running. So
And how big is that tank?
about 3 gallons. So
Okay.
you can get about 6 days worth out of a tank if you're running it all the time.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's, you know, you come in, kick it on, let it heat the van up, and once it's running, you just leave it on because it only comes on when the temperature drops down and the thermostat kicks it on. It's not bad, but when you first got it and your head's only a foot from it, you hear it, I'd still fall asleep.
In summary, it's right there. While we're waiting for that to blow, or to test it, one, thank you for letting me observe and somewhat help. Two, is there anything you would do different about your van build?
Other than the mattress, having the mattress flexibility to put this up into a couch, you know, so I could access all this storage. Mattress down, you're ready.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing
Well, I
I'd
mean, you
probably change.
technically have it set for that.
Yeah, it's set for that. I just need a new different mattress
Yeah.
to accomplish that. And would I do anything else? No, because I decided to make the change of not having any kind of sink, or water system in here. And I could still put a you know, a 15-gallon tank that sits right in that thing and have 15 gallons onboard water with a heating. I need hot water.
Oh, okay.
So I'd have to have a heating element, which would mean propane.
Right.
And I'd be carrying some extra stuff, so I just kind of decided not to do any of it.
What do you do for water then?
I just use this and I don't have hot water. And I'm looking for that shower thing like you have, but I want the one that you can put the heater in the water or the bucket.
Yeah.
The whatever they're called, the immersion
I hope you
heater.
invest in one of those too.
Yeah. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, because I don't mind showering outdoors, but it would be nice to have the hot water.
I have to have hot water in the shower.
You're spoiled.
Even in Thailand when it was in 97 degrees outside, I'm like, oh, these showers are way too cold. I need heat. Heat for a shower. Is it blowing hot air?
It's blowing air. It's pretty warm. It's a little cold. Like it feels more like the breeze than it does heat.
Yeah, it's because it's the first startup. Give it some time.
Yeah, with your mattress on and everything, it can't be that loud.
It's very sleepable. Like I said, once it's on and running, when it brings it up to temperature, it just shuts off. And then it comes on maybe once an hour and runs for like 4 minutes. And shuts off. Just 4 minutes every hour, just keeping the temperature. It's not that bad. It's like the refrigerator.
Right.
Refrigerator, everybody goes, oh, it uses up a lot of power, and it does, but honestly, it runs, once it gets set temperature, even in the summertime, it runs every 30 minutes for like 5 minutes and then it shuts off.
How much solar do you have?
500 watts on the roof, and 224 amp hours in batteries.
Because normally that's the most rude question you could ever
Pull the driver's seat all the way forward and look.
So we'll see if I can't burn my hand and get it red. So this is the starting skin tone. Is this hot enough? Give myself a mild burn. Oh, that's uncomfortable as shit already. Well, you can't really tell, but it hurts to keep my hand there. It's so hot.
Yeah, it's only set at what, 24C, which is probably about 73 degrees.
Wow, man, yeah, this would really heat up.
Came from that Jared Tachi guy. He said he didn't want anything but electricity.
Yeah.
Everything running on electricity. Didn't want dual fuels and stuff. And I
Yeah.
kind of went, you know, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Especially
Well,
with all the stuff you have to do with propane.
right?
Pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do propane either. And it's too damp.
Dual fuel stove. Butane
Yeah.
works just fine.
Yeah.
All electricity, everything else.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah, simple.
Well, thanks for sharing your heat
You're welcome. You're welcome.
in your van. This is awesome.
Now we'll install yours next.
I know.
They're nice people. I was talking to this one dude and he fucking saw Bigfoot everywhere. Everywhere he looked, he saw Bigfoot.